Hi, how's it going? This is Resident of Collinwood for YouTube. Finally back on this Michael Myers Monday. But not to do a Michael Myers video, do a Dark Shadows video. um, Here to react and review episode 62, written by Art Wallace, directed by John Sidwick. Here we go. It's nighttime at Collinwood. See Roger staring out the window. He's got it open too. I like how he's holding the window open with his right hand sitting there with the posture of his body, and we cut away from there to the hotel. We're in Burke Devlin's room. Burke tells Sam, "I don't think I'll ever understand you." Will anybody ever understand the Greek Sam Evans? I like how Sam's, "Oh, can I have a drink, Burke?" No, you you can't have one. Yeah, Burke's going to question why he ran. Um, I'm going to give you the answer to why he ran in here in a second. Now, the reason he ran, obviously, the way this episode lays out is Sam plays this off as, hey, I didn't want to have this discussion or any kind of argument in front of my daughter. And what Sam does is, in this episode, what I like most about this episode here, Sam in many ways is getting his daughter off the hook of not just the manslaughter case, but the more so the manslaughter case than anything else, because his daughter didn't really, he never told his daughter anything, or he never talked about it with his daughter, which I believe. Um, Now, does his daughter is his daughter aware of certain aspects of the case? She's aware that Burke hit somebody with a car, and Burke went to prison for it. She doesn't know her dad withheld testimony. But she ever since Burke has come back, she has noticed a change in her father's behavior from what his usual behavior was, and how he's wanting to get a hold of Roger Collins. There's some sort of connection between uh, Maggie knows there's some sort of connection. I should specify between her father and Roger. She's not entirely sure of what it is. She might have a suspicion, but she doesn't know. Her, she knows her dad and Roger, that Roger came to the house 10 years ago, and now we're gonna they're gonna reveal Roger bought some paintings to make it look legitimate. Oh, hey, I'm just buying. I'm buying these paintings. I'm buying your silence. Not in this episode, but eventually. So he tells, basically what Sam tells Burke here is, hey, Maggie didn't really, she had no involvement in any of that. She doesn't know anything, and I didn't. The only thing I knew, or even Maggie knows, or what everyone else knows, which are the common facts of that case. You notice in this episode too, they say a tavern. They do not say the Blue Whale. So whatever tavern they were at, it wasn't the Blue Whale. And no, I don't know why. I don't know why the. I mean, I guess from a story standpoint, it's just a change of a venue, and not make it so obvious that it's the Blue Whale. Um, but hey, I don't see why you couldn't have made it the Blue Whale. Everyone else, people found out about that the manslaughter thing really quickly. So It's really interesting. So Burke, while Sam is in Burke's room, Burke asks um, Sam, "Did you kill Bill Malloy?" And he says, "No, I did not kill Bill Malloy." He basically that's the really the heft of the conversation. I love Sam Evans' quote before he leaves the house here. No man has the right to deprive another man of his life. Um, I like that. I love that line in this episode, and it sells David Ford as the person who didn't do it. Which, according in Burke's mind, that leaves only one other suspect, Roger Collins. Um, do the writers do a good job of keeping Roger, you know, as the person of interest of who could have killed Bill Malloy? Yeah, they do a great job. Even in this episode too, when we go to the when they finally go to the great house, back to the great house, I should say, because that's where it starts off, where you see Roger standing with the window open. Vicky has come in the door. Roger comes out of the drawing room. He's talking to her, and she goes, "I'm not really in the mood to talk about how my dinner went with Sam at Mr. Evans's house." And he goes, "I warned you about Sam Evans being, a drunk and alcoholic." And she says, "Well, he wasn't even drinking at all. It wasn't him that bothered me." And this causes Roger's interest to perk up in what happened there. He goes, "Oh, please, I insist." I love how Lewis Edmonds on the staircase cups Vicky's arm, basically, like he doesn't grab her. He just wraps his arm around her and says, "Oh, please," and guides her into the drawing room, and they have this conversation about what went down at the Evans cottage. It is just a beautiful move by Lewis Edmonds. It's awesome as hell. Um, and they have that conversation. Vicky says, the manslaughter incident came up about what had happened, and she says what Sam had said had happened. Um, and Roger says, "We'll go on." And then there was the test. You testified against Burke. She goes, "There's somebody who had a different point of view," and she goes, "Who?" "Burke Devlin. He showed up there, and Burke told his side of it." And Roger says, "Well, is that why you're upset at me that I testified against my friend?" "I wasn't too happy about it either at the time." That's what he sells it off as. Um, it's crazy to think because I'm at episode 62. Here at episode 70 is going to be Josette's ghost, first ghost appearance. Think about that. So, just saying. Just saying. It happens in episode 70. Amazing. So, they have that conversation. My favorite moment in this is when Vicky and Roger are having a conversation about the night Bill Malloy died, and she told Burke that Bill Malloy came up to the house about 10 o'clock. The ends had some sort of argument. She didn't hear what it was over completely. Um, she she went up the stairs, and when she came back down the stairs, he was on the telephone about 10:30. That's what she tells Roger. He goes, "I was on the telephone." You find out you find out that it reconfirms what you already know. Roger was on the phone at 10:30 with Bill Malloy. It wasn't Sam. They mentioned Sam says he didn't call Bill Malloy at 10:30. He left his house at 10:30. You can't be on the phone and leave your house at the same time. Cell phones are not invented yet, Burke. Um, they're not a thing quite yet. That's a ways off. Um, But I like how they handle these moments here in this episode. You're getting you're getting clarity from Sam. You're getting a distortion of a lie from Roger. You're getting a lie from Roger. What else would you be getting? Um, Again, the Art Wallace, the writers do a great job of keeping Roger as your suspect number one. Though he didn't. Though in my mind he's suspect number two. No offense to Roger's dastardliness. It's hard not to make Matthew Morgan number one. Not because of what I know or what anyone else knows. You don't, under any circumstances, push a dead body back in the water unless your ass is guilty, okay? That there alone is just, damn, it's wrong. It's so, so wrong. Um, so, this episode, uh, it sees a lot of things. Hold on, I'm sorry. Yeah, 10:35. Vicky says 10:35 was the time Roger left the house. That's the time she heard the door slam. Roger's an assistant. He didn't leave until 10 of 11. He had paperwork to file. He feels that, accuracy is an important thing. Of course it is. Of course it is, especially when it's your neck on the line, right? um, Also in this episode, you have Roger make an offer to Vicky about, hey, there's this family in Florida. They have a house on the sea, on house by the sea, house by the ocean or water, uh, and they're looking for governess. And Vicky says, I no, I'd rather stay. And Roger goes, you are a fool, Miss Winters. She goes, maybe I am. Maybe so. Oh my God. Victoria Winters. Victoria Winters. Oh my God. Yeah, you see some good camera work in this episode. It's your typical stuff in this episode. There's nothing new from a standpoint of John Sedgwick's camera work here. Um, Good job cueing the music. Again, the actors never heard it. Um, and Roger has a long, a long pause there. Um, yeah, he comes out and finds Vicky on the phone. and she's talking to Maggie Evans about where her dad that her dad has not come home, I should say. And because remember he left the house when Bert came. Um, and then that's when Roger makes the offer after the phone call about the family in Florida. Vicky turns him down. Um, Roger, Vicky watches Roger leave the house in this episode, uh, which I really love how they shoot it. Vicky's just standing there on the on the balcony, and she's watching him leave. She's very stalkerish. She's very not Michael Myers stalker. She doesn't have enough. She could be a stalker for sure. She could easily be a stalker. Um, it's a really, really fun episode. It's also an informative episode. It's you talk about battle lines in episodes. There's some definitely not necessarily battle lines being drawn, but lines being drawn and crossed at the same time. Sam Evans has convinced Burt Devlin that he did not kill Bill Malloy in this episode. And that's huge. And you're 62 episodes in. and you're not that far into this murder mystery that you know that if you're watching it for the first time, you know who did it. And if I spoiled it for you, I love you all, but get over it. That's what I'm gonna say to that. It's 50 years old. Sure, you know by now who committed the murder. This isn't unsolved mysteries here. Um, but a really, really good episode for a lot of for number one. Like I said, you get Burke believing Sam. Burke believes it's now, hey, it's Roger Collins or bust. No one. I love how Burke, Roger, or Sam suspect Matthew Morgan. I think now I will say in the episode where Roger found out that Matthew pushed Bill's body back in the water, that shocked the shit out of him. Like, what? Like, why would he do that? It was just weird, right? Roger, your groundskeeper's a murderer, dude. Um, and he'll have no problem doing the same to you if you do something to your sister. Or bring any kind of trouble Liz's way, or what he feels is trouble too. That's something too I want to touch upon before I wrap this episode up. You know, a lot of things get into character feelings. For example, Burke feels now for certain Roger killed Bill Malone. Sam Sam is still hiding the truth about knowing Burke Devlin didn't commit the manslaughter charge. That's not a feeling, that's knowing something. Another feeling we have is Vicky being very unsure of how to feel about a lot of the things she's been told. But you can tell she's also wondering about them. And that brings a great curiosity to a fictional character. Really, really great job by Alexander. Also, too, there are certain people who know Matthew Morgan pushed the body back into the water, but they're not. It's not that they don't know; they're not taking enough weight consideration into that why he did it. A lot of people know how loyal Matthew is to Liz, and that's how they're just chalking it up to that. And you should never assume. I mean, that's yes, that is one of the reasons he did it, but he also did it because he knew he'd kill. Matthew Morgan killed Bill Malloy. Goddamn it! All right, guys, you have a good day.